Hello everybody, I am dressed up, which I don't like to do, to go to a special place. It's in Kailua. It's in the Kailua Town Pub and Grill. It's quite popular and you must make reservations. You can't just walk in. So the only reservation we could get was super early at 4 p.m. And you go inside Kailua Town Pub and Grill and find the special telephone booth. I'm here with Terrence and we're at Gaslamp, and I'm sorry, it's super dark in here, but this is our candlelight. Yeah. It's super small in here, and it's super cool though, right?
Yes.
It's very tiny. I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 tables. So we're excited because we're going to have a really good meal, and we're going to be throwing dollar bills like we're throwing it as strippers because it's super expensive if you don't know, but we are doing our fine dining, not series, but once a month, right?
Fine dining.
Look people, I get 1 day off a week and this has been going on for years. So when I play hard.
Yep.
So Terrence is looking at the drink menu. This is like your type of thing, right? So I'm going to show a close-up with my phone because it's dark in here, but they got some funny names.
I am blind.
They got, like, what is it? Something made me laugh. Gods of Doomed Relationships. That's my kind of drink, but the stuff in it, I wouldn't drink. I don't think so. Here we go. There it is. Scottish Unicorn, Sushi in Mexico. There's some funny names. But he explained when you go to the top it's fruitier, and you go down right, he said it's stronger.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. And down here, like in the fine print, it comes like sushi in Mexico.
Yeah.
It has the ingredients. Comes all sweet, innocent, vacations.
Yeah. What about the Gods of Doom relationships? The night is young, plenty of mistakes to be made. I like that. Okay, I'm being rude and using my flash because it is so dark in here. But if you're wondering about the menu, here it is. And if you're not into expensive things, then you probably wouldn't be interested at all. But they got, you know, fancy stuff, bone marrow, scallops. I heard that's a dish to get. Crab legs, oysters. But they're most famous for their French laundry, and we're going to get it, damn it. They come out with a show and melt the beef fat on it, and today he said it's Wagyu from actual Japan. So it's a tomahawk steak. Let's do this.
Yes.
And if you're wondering, they do have sides. Don't burn your face off. Hey, that's cool.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So that is, what was that? Something with wings? Rainbow wings.
Yeah.
I don't know, that doesn't match when I think of rainbows.
Yeah.
The skull. Looks very sinister, but hey, that's pretty cool. What is in there? Rum, Smith and Cross, Lilikoi, pineapple, lime, liquor, falernum, whatever that is, grapefruit, and mac nut origot. What the heck is that?
Yeah, we about to
but
find
it's
out.
cool. You blow that out,
Yep.
man. Don't burn your eyebrows. It's got whipped cream on there too.
Yep.
With a flour.
That's pretty dope.
Damn. Nice.
All right.
Alright, let's see your thoughts on that.
It tastes like an old fashioned, but way better.
Not like that old fashioned at Rigo.
Yeah, oh, that one was brutal. But this one is real good.
Alright. Is it fruity at all? Because it has that pineapple and lime on there.
Yeah, you can taste the grapefruit in it.
Alright.
I mean, it's a combination of the fruit, but the grapefruit's a little bit more powery than others, which I don't mind.
Okay. Alright, I don't really drink these mixed drinks because you saw that last video at, where did we go? In San Island? Oh, God. That tiki bar. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sweet, but it's got a weird
Aftertaste, yeah.
I think it might be the mac nut. It does have a nutty, weird.
Yeah,
I don't think that
so.
goes with fruit. But okay. I guess if you're drunk, you don't even taste the nutty, weird aftertaste. But I'm just going with a wine because we're gonna have the steak today. So, you know, I don't really like their beer selection because I'm a a picky beer person, but wine, this is Camus, and it is quite expensive, so if you're into wine, you probably know what Camus is. Okay, our appetizer came out, and we're going to do the scallops.
Thank you.
So I know you can't probably see, but I'll do a little thing with some light, but this is the scallops. We upgraded to caviar, and you can get tobiko for the regular price. It's got hamakua mushrooms in it as well. It was suggested to us by a friend that has been here, so we're going to try it out. Oh man, that's delicious.
Yeah, it was real good. I like it. A little bit of saltiness on the caviar. I think it's mayo based.
Yeah,
sauce.
it's like a mayo sauce.
It's real good. Yep, love it. All right, now we're trying the Win in Rome. It's a gin based drink. Give it a try. Yep, it's fruity type drink. You can taste the gin, but I like it.
Is it sweet?
Yes, sweet, smooth, going down.
Man, you're pretty good with that because that is trash.
It's gonna be Uber time.
Uber. All right, so we got another appetizer. This is the oysters. You probably can't see it because it's super dark in here, but we got a half a dozen oysters, and it's got a, what did she say? Like a champagne mignonette sauce?
Yeah,
and a cucumber not tartar sauce, I'm sorry. Cucumber cocktail sauce, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll try that. All right, Terrence is going to try the oyster with the champagne mignonette sauce.
Real good. Yeah, the champagne sauce has like a vinegary base to it. Real good, goes well with seafood, like especially raw seafood.
All right, I tried the cucumber cocktail sauce. So let's try this. I'm gonna give you forks for the oysters. It's good. It tastes like a regular cocktail sauce, but you do taste a hint of that cucumber flavor in there. Real good. If you like oysters, then you're gonna love these. All right, I'm gonna try the champagne mignonette sauce. It has a lot of onions in there on the oysters. Ooh, that one's really good. If you like onions or shallots, it's in there, and it just gives it a burst of flavor with a little bit of a vinaigrette taste. Freaking winners.
Now I'm gonna try the oyster with the cucumber based cocktail sauce. To be honest, it tastes pretty much just like regular cocktail. You can taste a hint of the cucumber, but it's pretty much like cocktail sauce, regular cocktail sauce.
Alright, so we got the gravy, the sauce, the mashed potatoes where the Wagyu tomahawk butter dripped into, and then we added an extra $4 for the bone marrow butter. And that is our medium tomahawk steak. That is the French Laundry. Okay, it's quite dark in here, but looking at the close-ups, we asked for medium, and this is quite well done, even though there's blood on the plate, but we shall see. A lot of people are asking us to compare it to Chino or our close friends that knew we were coming here. And I will say it's quite different. I don't know what to say. This is some really tender steak, I think, with a little nice crust.
Yeah.
Like that crust of salt and stuff from the grill. But it doesn't have that smoky kiawe wood flavor that Chino had. This is definitely juicy, even though it's a little bit overcooked. There is blood on the plate though, or juices, so I'm gonna dip it in there and see. When you dip it into the juice though, it's got a good garlic flavor. You should try it, Terrence. Dip it into like the bloody parts.
Okay.
It's like really garlicky. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then there is a piece of garlic here, a whole bowl. You could probably squeeze it on your steak and stuff.
So, at Cino's, it was medium rare. They had a sea salt, and they seasoned it pretty well. Here they use the garlic butter, and it's pretty good. The only problem with this steak compared to Cino's is this is well done. In my opinion, steaks has to be medium rare. Like the ideal spot of eating steak is medium rare. When it's well done, sometimes what happens is they seared it; it's almost burnt. And I ate the top tip part, and it was a little burnt at some parts, and it kind of messes up the taste of the steak. Don't get me wrong; it's a good steak, but because it's medium rare and some parts are a little bit well done, I think Cino's part is a little better than that.
Yeah, it was a little bit overcooked. We asked for medium rare. Oh no, I'm sorry. Asked for medium.
Medium, yeah.
And it's well done.
Well done, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Girl, when you're paying this much for this damn steak, it better be the way you want it. Okay. No, but I'm being bitchy. No, it's super good though. Let's try the mashed potatoes where the fat dripped onto the potatoes. So, yeah, that's good. All right, here's the mashed potatoes. Might be wrong, but it tastes cheesy. Like a cheesy, au gratin kind of potato. And yeah, you got the fat of the beef. It's good. But, you know, it's just mashed potatoes.
The mashed potatoes is pretty good. It's lumpy, so it's not really fine mashed potatoes. But it's pretty good, well seasoned, especially from the butter from the steak. I like it. It's not too bad.
It's got kind of like a sour taste to it, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know what it is. Is that sour cream? But to me, sour cream is not sour. I'll show it. So as you can see, everything's pretty, almost like medium well, almost well done. It is definitely not medium, although a great show. All right, we're gonna try it with some sauce that it came with. Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel so bad, but no. That tastes straight out of the bourbon bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I drink bourbon once in a while, so that is definitely bourbon. Some Buffalo Trace right in your steak. Oh no. When that sauce tastes like alcohol and you're an alcoholic, shout out to you, Lady at Tamores. I see you every week, 3 times a week. Then that's something bad. Alright, so the bill comes in here, but I'm not going to show you what it is because you're probably not going to like it. But let's just say all these places that we do fine dining at is very expensive. Alright, your thoughts?
The restaurant, the vibe, the environment of the restaurant is awesome. I like the whole speakeasy vibe that I get from it. I was telling Missy, all the goth kids, they become adults. I love this restaurant.
Actually, when I walked in, because Terrence was a little bit running late because there's an accident on H3 and Leaky Leaky was closed, so Polly was screwed. I went in there by myself, and that red light and the darkness reminded me of like Interview with the Vampire. And then our waiter also was, I don't know what he was, Brazilian or
yeah, he's Brazilian. So he has that accent.
And I'm like, oh boy, where's Brad Pitt? But anyway, yeah, it has that gothy feel.
Yeah,
but it's kind of cool. Yeah, it is about the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But is it worth it? Okay, I usually don't tell people what we spend at fine dining because you guys don't. It's like a turn off, I don't know, to some people, but a lot of people liked our Chino video. But we dropped 510.
Yeah. Yep.
But so did Chino. That was 500 something bucks. So,
yeah. But the way I think about fine dining is like if you are married or you're in a relationship or it's a special event, treat yourself. I mean, life is hard as it is, so sometimes you have to like take care of yourself as treating yourself to something nice. Obviously, we don't do it all the time. It might seem like we do it all the time, but literally,
But
like
you know
maybe
what?
3-4 weeks
I will
before
say
we do
this, and I'm sure that you're the same way. We're both very good at finances.
Yep.
And I don't go to Starbucks. You know, those coffees add up every day.
Yep.
I don't go and get drinks. When I go to work, I have my own little French press, and I bring
Yep.
coffee from home, and I have my tea from home, from the grocery store. All that stuff adds up. I don't eat out through the week.
Yep.
We only do this once a week. I cook and bring home lunch every day to work. I don't eat out. I cook my dinner. So all that goes to these things.
Yeah.
You might not be into eating. You know, it's the same. If you're into cars and you want to soup up your car, you're
stay
going to
for
put
it.
it into your hobby.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with my travel. That's why we travel a lot and eat out, because I am super Chang with everything else. I don't have any debt
Yeah,
except my
same,
mortgage.
same.
I drive an old car. I don't have a car payment.
2013
so, yeah.
Toyota 4Runner
You know,
here.
you can't do this if you do have debt and
Yeah.
you're struggling, and you know that sucks. And I totally understand, because we used to be roommates. That's how we
Yeah.
know each other. When we were in our 20s, we ate fucking ramen,
Ramens,
and
oh my
frozen
God.
food.
Yep.
Like
Frozen pizzas all the
frozen
time.
frickin' tater tots in the damn oven with chicken nuggets. And then now that we're older, we are much older. We knew each other a long time. You know, you get to treat yourself. I mean, you work hard, go treat yourself. So yeah, it is a nice place for the regular person. This is definitely not for the regular person, but
No.
when you got a birthday or anniversary.
This is the spot.
But the only thing is, people are asking me to compare it to chinos. So you
Chinos, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though I like the vibe here, Chinos hand downs is better. One is the service. The service was on point. The food was delicious, and there's plenty of it. Yes, it was pricey, but put it like this: I'm a big dude. I had to take some of that food home because it was so much.
We actually joked about, let's go down to Wendy's down the road after this, but we spent, Chinos was the same amount of money.
Yep.
I was full and we had stuff to take home.
Yep.
We did not have any takeout boxes.
Yeah. The steak the steak we had here compared to Chinos was a little
or
bit
even
smaller.
Aloha Steakhouse.
Yep. Same.
So that's supposed to be a tomahawk steak. The show was great. That lady was super nice. The waiter's nice, but if you were to compare it to the service in Chino, they were at you hand and foot.
Yeah.
And so when you drop that $500, that's that's what you're spending it on. I wouldn't say this is terrible, but
No, it's not terrible
but
at
the
all.
sauce, man, that was terrible.
Yeah, so they had
I'm sorry, don't put that sauce on
Yeah, they
your
had
steak.
like a peppercorn-based sauce. But yeah, she could taste the alcohol
straight
in
up
it. Yeah,
bourbon or
yeah.
whiskey or something.
Yeah, you're just better off just mixing it with the juices of the
juices
steak.
was good, and it had that roasted garlic.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
And they made it well done, which is way over medium.
Yeah.
They didn't make the steak the way you wanted
So,
to.
like I was telling Misty when we was inside, what happens with well done steaks is when it cools off, it becomes tough to eat. You kind of
tough.
I mean, if people who eat steaks a lot, they kind of understand what I'm getting at with this. When the steak is medium rare, even if it's the top is like it's still warm as cooking, it's still juicy to eat and still eat. But when it's well done, it becomes dry and it dries out and becomes tough. So I mean, it depends on how you like your steak, but I like mine medium rare.
Me too. Oh, I like a medium, not too, but everybody has their own. But yeah, that was really well done. There was no red in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hate knocking people, but I'm just trying to be truthful. So if you're really into steaks, they're not going to make it the way you want it.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed, especially at that price point where you're dropping that kind of dollar.
Yeah.
But we do this because we want to tell you about it.
Yeah.
So you don't, but you know what? If you live in this side, a lot of people, our friends enjoyed it. So maybe we did like the appetizers.
Yeah.
So just don't get that French laundry.
Right.
That was not worth it. Maybe get the crab legs. Maybe get the scallops. The scallops are really good.
Oh yeah, the sauce.
And the oysters. And then they have other appetizers too. So anyway, getting a little long. So
That's it.
conclude that. So thanks for joining us, and hope you like our honest opinion.
Yeah.
And there's a whole shitload of people going to St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Say,
No, it's not St. Pat. Tomorrow is. We're here on a Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
So by the time you see this, it will be next Friday.
Right.
And you know what? Even though this was a bummer, the next video you see will be on a trip. Not with you. I'm sorry. You're like,
No,
thanks a lot.
I'll be working.
You can hop
I'll
in my
be
suitcase. But everybody's been asking, where are you going next? Well, you'll see next week. So
Okay.
peace out. Thanks for joining us.
Aloha.
Aloha.